So I finally got the Chase Sapphire Reserve, and let me tell you, it's not just another premium card with a high annual fee. At first, I thought $550 a year. Seriously? But once I started using it, booking travel, stacking points, and walking into lounges, I realized this card actually lives up to the hype. Here's my honest review after using it, the real perks, the hidden value, and whether it's still worth it in 2025. In this video, I'll break down the Chase Sapphire Reserve credit card, how it works, what you actually get for that $550 annual fee, who this card is perfect for, and what to watch out for. If you're thinking of going premium, watch this first. Let's start with the sign-up offer. Earn 60,000 Chase Ultimate Rewards points after spending $4,000 in the first 3 months. That's worth $900 in travel if you redeem through Chase's travel portal, and potentially more if you transfer points to travel partners. You'll also earn 10x points on hotels and car rentals through Chase Travel, 5x on flights booked through Chase Travel, 3x on all other travel and dining, 1x on everything else. The points rack up fast, especially if you travel frequently. Here's where the Reserve really earns its name. You get Priority Pass Lounge access, over 1,300 lounges worldwide, $300 annual travel credit, automatically applied to travel purchases, global entry or TSA pre-check credit, trip cancellation/interruption insurance, lost luggage, delay and rental car protection, emergency evacuation and travel assistance. Basically, if something goes wrong during your trip, this card has your back. The $550 annual fee seems steep, but let's break it down. You get $300 back right away on travel purchases. Lounge access easily saves you $30 to $50 per visit. The sign-up bonus alone covers almost 2 years of fees if you redeem well. Plus, you get Lyft Pink, Dash Pass, and Instacart Plus perks bundled in. If you travel at least a few times a year, this card pays for itself. Your Chase Ultimate Rewards points can be redeemed at 1.5x value through Chase Travel, or transferred one-to-one to partners like Hyatt, United, Southwest, JetBlue, Emirates, and more. That flexibility is what makes this card a favorite among travel enthusiasts. You're not locked into one airline or hotel chain. This card isn't for everyone. $550 upfront fee is a deal breaker if you don't travel enough. To really maximize value, you need to book through Chase Travel or transfer points. If you carry a balance, the APR is high. This is not a card for debt. Also, the perks only matter if you actually use them. Lounge access, travel protections, and redemption tools. Who this card is for? This card is ideal for frequent travelers and digital nomads, people who want flexible, high-value travel points, those who maximize travel perks like lounges, car rentals, and trip insurance, users who already have other Chase cards and want to combine points. Not great for people who rarely travel, anyone who wants simple cash back, those not comfortable paying a high annual fee upfront. The Chase Sapphire Reserve isn't just a travel credit card, it's a full-on travel lifestyle upgrade. Yes, it has a premium price tag, but if you use the perks even semi-regularly, this card delivers way more value than most people expect. And with Chase's flexible reward system, top-tier protections, and access to transfer partners, it's still one of the best travel cards on the market in 2025. If this review helped you out, hit that super thanks and subscribe for more honest breakdowns like this. Have questions or already using the Chase Sapphire Reserve? Drop your experience in the comments. I always reply. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.